Hello, welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I'm StevieB. Happy to have you all with me today. I'm still on Next Island, still at the new Carnival Island, because I want to get as many of these videos banged out. I want to get you guys the best information I can as quickly as I can to give you guys as many opportunities as I can. That way, hopefully, you guys will be A, profitable, but B, get the information faster than other players. And with my time crunch, with everything I'm dealing with in real life, with everything I'm dealing with work, obviously time constraints are an issue. I'm also having issues with my cell phone at the moment, not necessarily mine, but somebody that I'm very close to, their phone is acting kind of funky, so I may get a couple of phone calls or I may have to send a couple of texts during this video. So we've already covered a couple things on the island, such as where the island is, how to get here, the teleporter, the waypoint mission to get the ticket blueprint, stuff like that. So now I want to take you guys over to something. This is probably going to be very, very popular for players who spend a lot of time on Next Island that are free to play. If we use the flower that bounces us all around, we see that we've got our pick of destinations here. So we want to go to the wet circle. The wet circle is a free area. We do not need to pay any admission. We do not need to do anything special, but you will see that inside this tent, the wet circle tent, first of all, it looks like we've got some terminals over here like an auctioneer and repair and stuff, but you will see that we have a level 6 screecher. The wet circle is a sweat circle. Now here's the thing. To sweat it, you're going to have to be on this little thing right here, this little bitty island. So you're going to have to stand very close. But this is going to be probably one of the new most popular sweat spots on Next Island, because here's what's so cool. This water is deep enough to drown it. So let's say I'm sweating it. So I'm getting some sweat out of it. Notice it's shared loot. That's what this little green icon up here means. So it could be hunted. Now there's no turret. Remember, it can't get off this little island without being killed, right? But check this out. I'm going to kill it. I receive loot, and now bam, another one pops up in its place. As soon as this mob dies, it respawns. That's why they created the wet circle. And why is it called a wet circle? It's a sweat circle surrounded by water. So it's shared loot. You can shoot it, you can hunt it, and everybody will get their share of the loot, right? But why is it called the wet circle? There's a circle of water around it. Remember, it respawns instantly. There's no turret. So if its concentration is on me and it follows me into the water, it's going to drown. It drowned. Now watch. It's going to pop right back up over here. Bam. Respawns again. So this thing will just respawn and respawn and respawn and respawn. That's why they called it the wet circle. It's a sweat circle inside of a wet circle. How cool is that? Now, if you saw my other video that I did about the sweat circle that has the cool revive terminal here on Next Island, this doesn't appear to have one of those. However, somebody got a hold of me after I made that video, and they said that specific terminal that gives you that healing whenever you revive there, you don't have to die. You can go to it and just stand there, and when you run up, if you're not fully healed, that little red spark will pop up, and it will start healing you. Let's see if there's such a thing here. Doesn't seem to be a revive terminal. We've got auctioneer, technician, storage, construction, repair, and trade. So we don't seem to have a revive terminal around here, unfortunately. However, we shouldn't need one. If you're coming here to sweat either solo or in a group, then being able to make it shared loot, which it is shared loot all the time, is going to allow people to hunt it as they go dry, or just having this wet circle around it. You can just pull it into the water and let it drown, and then the next one will respawn for you right away. So this should be a very, very popular spot on Next Island for sweating. I know that's not something that a lot of the... Oh, look, little screecher eggs in the water. That's kind of cool. I want to see what was down here. I know sweating isn't necessarily something that a lot of my viewers are like all about, but remember, there's a lot of free-to-play players and low depot players that still do a lot of sweating. Is it something I do? No. Is it something I enjoy? No. Is it something I'm ever going to be a huge fan of? No. However, occasionally I will do it if I'm at a sweat circle and there's people there I need to talk to, and I'm having a conversation. I might as well do it while having the conversation, right? And if you're a new player, if you're low depot, if you're free to play, there's nothing wrong with that. You just want to sweat as effectively as you can. So what's going to be the most effective way to sweat on Next Island? A place like this, or if you watch my other video, a place like I showed you where you can sweat, turret, get defense, and be held up by the terminal itself. While we're here, let's just see if there's anything interesting about these particular terminals. Everything looks pretty much the same as far as the blueprints. Now, I did mention in my last video that they have these new Next Island blueprint books. There's a reason I did not get these yet. There's a reason that I'm using the old ones that I still have. Next Island old blueprints. A blueprint book for all the blueprints you maybe never knew existed but can no longer be looted. Huh. Okay, well, we'll do that in another video. So it doesn't seem to be anything super special about the terminals here, but the biggest thing about the wet circle that I want you guys to know is that this can be very, very useful for newer players, for low depot and free-to-play players who maybe they need a way to kill quickly or to be sure that the mob respawns quickly. I would prefer either this or the previous spot I mentioned at Crystal Peak, where they've got the revive terminal that heals you up. These would probably be my two preferred spots on Next Island to sweat if I was going to spend time sweating. So I know not something a lot of people that watch these videos will be into, but maybe it's something you can pass along to those that you mentor through the mentor program, to some of your disciples. If you run into some new players on Next Island that are sweating at spots that are subpar, maybe you can mention the wet circle to them on Carnival Island, or the spot that I mentioned at Crystal Peak with the unique terminal that helps heal you up whenever you run up to it or whenever you revive at it. Anything we can do to help each other be a little bit more efficient, a little bit more effective, a little bit more mindful of our gameplay, that's always going to be a good thing. So I'm going to leave it right there for this video. I'll be back with more content for you guys later this week. Till then, sip, sip, smack, smack. Y'all know the rest. Head over to earnped.com, because when you earn, we earn. That's by far the best way you can support us. Hit that like and subscribe button, and you'll find plenty more tips on how to play smarter, not harder, make your ped go further, and make more ped easier. Take care, Stevies.